Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we have a review for Orcs Must Die, Deathtrap. A new entry in the Action Tower Defense series, but it's not what we all expected. Why? Well, watch on and find out. Orcs Must Die Deathtrap feels like an expansion rather than a full sequel, and I think that's why we're sitting with the Deathtrap subtitle rather than a proper numbered entry. And while it looks and plays much like a regular Orcs Must Die game, there are some major differences that work both for and against the game, but also the players. First things first, yes, they have tarted up the graphics a bit, and now things are looking a lot more Disney Fortnite than before. That's to say, it looks great, and the lighting has been given a massive update, and there's a fluidity to the movement of characters, both player-controlled and dim-witted NPCs, that was missing in previous games, where a little stiffness was always part of the parcel. On that front, it also runs really nicely too. I played mostly on Xbox Series X, and I can't have many complaints when it comes to performance. I was never left feeling let down by any technical limitations. My failures were all of my own doing. I also played a bit on the go with the Rogue Ally, and you can see some footage of that marked throughout this video. At medium quality and with a bit of tweaking to the resolution and various sliders, decent 60 FPS target and a pleasant looking game are all possible. So with the technicals out the way, what is different in this package? Why is it not Orcs Must Die 4? As I said earlier, this feels more like a sidestep rather than a full leap to a new entry. The biggest change is in how players are dealt challenges. Rather than being given a set of levels to work through and replay to gain maximum skulls and high scores and achievements and all the other stuff that keeps us murdering mountains of orcs for hours at a time, Deathtrap goes the roguelike route. Here's the setup. You pick your character. There are a bunch of new playable characters, all with unique abilities and weapons. You then go to the mission start zone, and you're given the choice between 3 maps. The catch is that each map comes with a modifier that may help or hinder you. The maps are generally much bigger and more open than the regular maps of Orcs Must Die 3, more akin to the war scenarios, but not quite as extreme. You play through 6 waves, and between waves you get to choose between different modifiers, which again help or hinder, and they remain active in the background. Your first 6 waves on Mission 1, the second set of waves on a new level, part of the same run, on Mission 2, and then you've got the boss round where the difficulty spikes and the various buffs and debuffs that you've collected over the course of your run all come to decide just how difficult the boss level will be. On the one hand, I, very generally speaking, tend to hate roguelikes with a passion akin to racism, but on the other, I've been given one dressed up in one of my favourite game series, so I kind of like it, and the idea isn't bad, and even in practice, it generally works quite nicely. The endless supply of orcs to murder with various deadly traps is what we all crave, and the game delivers, but in its effort for longevity, and longevity it will most certainly have with this new direction, purpose is what is missing. What is my goal? Why should I invest hours into the game? With Orcs Must Die 3, it was easy. I had a set of levels, doable achievements that would need me to get really good, to study and perfect my tactics to get the coveted 5 skulls score. In Deathtrap, it's more about getting to the end by any means necessary, and not about perfecting your tactics, which for me is half the game. Figuring out the puzzle of where to place barricades or certain traps, how to funnel the orcs in a fashion to ensure maximum carnage. Yeah, you're still able to do that, but those tense last-second saves to keep a perfect score no longer matter. There's also the fact that, unlike previous games where maybe you had a favourite level and you could just jump in and have a go, no stress, all in your own time, well, now you have to pray to the gods of random that your favourite map shows up with your favourite modifier. There's currently no option to just play a map normally, but maybe in the future. Something that may come as a surprise is that Orcs Must Die Deathtrap actually has fewer traps than the previous game, which again leads me to suspect that Deathtrap is a stopgap between full releases, a testing ground for new ideas, gameplay scenarios, new ways to play and mix things up. I get it, I appreciate it. In a sense, I get the feeling that Deathtrap isn't aimed at newcomers, it's for those who are already familiar with the series. So while it is a little jarring being taken away from the regular level format, at least things aren't being overcomplicated with new traps to learn. Think of it as more a preview of what's to come in the future, or maybe that's just this fan's wishful thinking. What there is to learn is the game's progression, which
It's
I
go
really
time.
like. Each run earns you skulls, which are spent on skills and other upgrades, as well as threads, which are buffs that you can buy and activate before your run to give yourself the edge. It's worth learning which do what, as they can really come in handy to counter the debuffs in the late game. It's a nice system, and it does give you a reason to keep playing, to keep collecting your skulls, to gamble them forward to the next round in the hope of a mega payout. I like Orcs Must Die Deathtrap, but I don't love it. It hasn't managed to hook me in like Orcs Must Die 3 did. I'm not glued to my screen, pulling my hair out, kicking my furniture, trying to figure out how to keep these Misa bastards out of my rift. I like the stress. I like spending hours trying and failing, because when I finally do beat the level, it actually feels like I've accomplished something in my life. It's pretty sad. Deathtrap feels too much like inconsequential fun, where every run is just another random sequence of events. You will not make any lasting memories here. In Orcs Must Die 3, I can vividly remember the moment I beat the final level that I have been stuck on for weeks. What can I remember about Deathtrap? Not much. I can tell you I've played it a bunch, and in the moment it's good enough and it keeps my brain occupied, but after the fact, not much else. I don't think about it when I'm not playing it. I'm not strategizing and plotting while riding the bus. It's just there when I want it, and that's okay. But what I really want is Orcs Must Die 4, like for proper. And that is the end of this review. Thank you for taking the time to watch, it is appreciated. If you enjoyed this video and want more, do us a solid and hit the like and subscribe buttons below, and give the bell icon a tap so you're notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.